And will you look at that? We are back for another CBC show. We are recording this on 616. Ah, see? See, Marvel shows confirmed. We're recording a podcast on 616.
Well, that only works if you're doing the English way.
Well...
If you do American dates, it's 166.
Look, I don't know what the people are going to be doing or whatever. What's important here is we got 616.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, it does only work, yeah. If you do it in the American way,
I don't know, like,
616.
I've seen some, I can't remember which country it was, where, like, the year is first. I'm like, ooh, that throws me
I think that's
off.
Japan.
Ooh.
They go year, month, day.
Yeah, that's...
Europe does day, month, year. America goes month, day, year.
And see, that's already problematic because I already don't know how the Earth works. So, like, you know, times and, you know, like, for example, right? Like, Japan, they're living in 2022. United States, we've reverted back to, like, 1752. So, I don't know, you know, it's...
Makes sense.
Things is happening. It's amazing. Anyways, though, speaking of historically accurate things and events that will be documented for definitely for the foreseeable future.
I mean, like Nick not being first, but saying he is currently first.
Yeah, things like that. You know, historic inaccuracies. You know, the victory is, and history is typically written by the person that won it. So, what I'm saying is, this will somehow be important in the future. That's all I'm saying. And of course, I am here as always, and I am Armin, your host, and I am joined by Mitch.
What's up? You can find me on Twitter at 692tweets.
And we are also joined by Tristan.
You can catch me at SJ Chance.
So see, it's going to be a good show, guys. We got a couple good topics here. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. I was able to get a couple Q&A things here, which is good. Unfortunately, not all of them were loading, so I only got 3 for us, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I think it was a couple days back. There was a problem on YouTube with comments loading, and they had to fix that.
There's actually a problem with them. For some reason, a bunch of comments on a bunch of videos went to, oh, you can't comment, they're disabled, and they restored it, but that screwed up other... Look, it's YouTube, but just pick any sort of error. It's probably going to happen at some point. It is what it is, so... Yeah, with that in mind, though, we do have a good show for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Of course, members will be able to get another set of MCU rankings. This time, 15 through 11 we will be tackling. And we will be doing some final predictions for Obi-Wan, so hopefully we see you guys there. But with all that out of the way, we are going to just get into our first topic. So, leading up to the recording of this show, we ended up finding out that as we heard it was going to be happening at some point, we just didn't know when, Disney would be locking in additional Marvel content for Disney Plus, specifically starting with international territories. I talked about, probably about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I heard firsthand, somebody was like, hey, no, Disney wants everything Spider-Man, like everything, you know. Slowly we're starting to see that happen. We had Venom get added in 2 or 3 international territories. Again, news from international territories comes so slow, and mistranslation and everything. We don't got the full picture, but we know Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage will be coming. Morbius will also be coming, so... but it ain't going to be for a while.
Yeah, from what I've read, and it's mostly due to Sony making deals with other providers. Because from what I remember, it said that Spider-Man movies will come to Disney Plus, but the earliest is like end of 2023 to 2024.
Yeah, it
was when those deals were up.
They signed stuff with Netflix.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, like some of these, you know, locations, like The Incredible Hulk is back in a couple international locations on Disney Plus as well. Again, the Universal deal that's signed is independent in each country and territory, so it goes like that. We also saw that, like, 5 Spider-Man films have been added to Disney Plus, again, as part of, you know, international rollouts. United States, I will be real with you guys, is probably going to be the longest wait to get everything on there, just because it's the, you know, Hollywood-ified America. So it's like, yeah, it's going to be a while, and by that time, who knows what the landscape's going to look like for everything. But it's a good, it's a good slow rollout to try to get everything unified under one banner. So it's like, oh, Marvel is Marvel. Good. It's even if it's Venom.
It's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Venom's going to play a part in the MCU at some point anyway, so you might as well.
And they openly acknowledge the character and the symbiotes left over. So like you said, it's smart to just have it ready on there. And
you can keep Morbius. No one's going to reference that.
No one. Yeah, no one. They're going to just pretend.
Even they they re-released the movie. The memes have died.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. That movie is dead.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Which, that is a thing. I will say that looking at the whole bigger picture here, it's quite obvious that Disney wants to position themselves. When you think of anything Marvel, you can go to Disney Plus, even if it's not Marvel Studios, and that's smart. It's branding. Like, you just want it there.
Which is funny because TASM or TASM 2 is on HBO Max right now.
Yeah. They ain't want that.
Cursed image.
Yeah. No. So it's going to be interesting to see what else happens, though, with some of the other properties. Because, like, obviously, there's still deals in place with, like, Spider-Verse and stuff. But you would have to imagine that stuff is going to make it on there eventually because it's Marvel licensed.
Yeah.
Even a thing like Silk, which is going to be Amazon exclusive and an Amazon series produced by Sony, like, it's still a Marvel property, so at some point down the road, that will also end up making a jump on over just because of the legality behind it. It's like the old Batman show that was produced by ABC and distributed by, like, ABC Disney, but it's a WB thing, and Batman, and, same thing with
Gotham.
I
was thinking like the Netflix show. Like, just do one series, cancel it, bring it over, then carry it on to something else.
Right. That they're scheming against one another. So, it's a little story, but it's good to finally have an update on this and to see it's actually going to start happening. So at least some people internationally they can enjoy Venom.
Yay!
Yeah, don't all speak up at once now.
I'll say it's free on Sky anyway, but yay! Woo! It's now
yeah, exactly. Well, there you go.
So unfortunately, we haven't got at least in the UK, we don't have Far From Home and No Way Home yet.
Yeah.
Netflix still has. I think Netflix has No Way Home. Or no, Far From Home. There's two. The names. Can we change the home names, please?
I know. Yeah. It's
but my brain is too hot to keep up and remember which is which.
You can just play...
The second Holland movie.
Yeah. The second
is with Netflix. I know that for a fact.
Oh. Well, there you go, I guess. Our first Q&A here. Now, I think I might be the only one that's able to talk about this one, but this one comes from a longtime supporter, William Hannafan, and he asks, due to what's currently happening on Superman and Lois, how is it even possible that this version of Superman is in the Arrowverse anymore? Trick question, because he's clearly not. I don't know if you guys keep up with Superman and Lois. I know, Mitch, I don't think you've seen anything.
I saw off the CW a long time ago, and I haven't been happier for it. No, it's fine.
I don't blame you because CW, but Superman and Lois is genuinely the one where clearly all their love for Superman has ended up.
See, I hear everyone say it, and everyone's like, yeah, but I hate the fucking teen drama crap. It's just like... So it's a CW, so with a little bit of stuff you like.
I don't get why they hate that, because it perfectly fits the story they're telling of Clark and Lois and what they're trying to do, and it actually works in the context of this show because it's well balanced. But I get it. But there is this, like, when you watch it, you realize all these things are happening on the other CW shows that could use Superman, or Superman could literally, if he was still in the Arrowverse, be like, hey, you know what? I'm about to die for the third time this week, and my children might be orphaned. Yeah, Barry, can you run over here quickly and help me out? Never happens. They brought in Diggle for 2 episodes. They play loosely with everything, and it's just oh, okay. Supergirl's never showed up. Jimmy or none of them. The show is a spin-off of his appearance in Crisis on Infinite Earths, where at the end, he's literally flying, and Lois calls him. She's like, oh, our children. And he's like, our children? He didn't know because the universe is merged. When this show starts, they don't even acknowledge that. They're just like, oh no, they've had the children, they've been together forever, he raised them. I'm like, no, this ain't in continuity. They're playing loose with it, which is the best case scenario, because that's what you should do with
the whole concept of the Arrowverse died a while ago.
It died with Arrow. Like,
yeah, and it definitely died when they started canceling everything. It's like, yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, so you know what? Just do what I do. Just watch the Superman and Lois series alone, and that's it. And that's all you really need. So there you go. Nah, not really continuity. It doesn't even matter if it was. You know what will be in continuity? That Werewolf by Night, which brings us officially closer to the Midnight Suns than ever before, because despite Disney and Marvel Studios never confirming that this thing is happening, the actors, the people working on the show, and even the director has openly talked about it. So,
this comes from I think it's Michael Giacchino talking with comicbook.com.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm having a great time. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, cool. This does exist. Thanks.
Somebody clearly didn't give him a note. It's like, hey, if you direct something, it's not as loose lips as it is when you compose something, because when you're a composer, it's like, oh, whatever, we kind of expect them. But he was happy to confirm this, and you can just tell Feige's probably like, this is supposed to be.
Why do I even try anymore?
Right. It's like, this is supposed to be a Disney
12
Plus.
Captain America stress ball. Like.
But what I want to know is, is it going to be Jake Gomez or Jack Russell?
I think they're both in it, but I think you're following. I can't remember what the stuff said for it. I think it's the original one. I think it's Jack Russell.
Okay, because he's the one that's in the Midnight Suns. Because Jake Gomez currently isn't in the Midnight Suns.
I mean,
I think they're. I want to say they're both in it, but it's specifically following one. Whether it's following the new one and he's going to be the main one, and then Jack's in it later. I was
gonna say, I hope it's a combination of both, due to Arrow or not the goddamn Ant-Man style legacy thing. It's like, oh, here's your older one, Jack Russell. He'll tell you about what you got, and then focus on the new Werewolf. Which
I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Russell is like a descendant from. That they're both related to an extent. Mm-hmm. And it's like a bloodline thing.
Yeah. That's very much a thing. And again, since this thing is the Halloween special, from what we saw and how long they're shooting this thing, this is definitely going to be like an hour, or this is going to be a mini movie. That's what I'm getting from it, because
it's like 4 episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be like
sure.
A nice little thing that they're putting together, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, because looking at it, back with the characters, Jake is a little bit different than Jack, who changes through the phases of the moon, while Jack changes the phase of the moon. Jake, however, he's a little bit different. He doesn't need the moon to transform into a werewolf. His transformation.
So this is something we got to change as well. Jack and Jake, nah. What are you thinking, Marvel?
Yeah.
It's ain't it. No.
Yeah, with Jake, it's a little bit different. He transforms with his emotions, and he uses music playlists to control his emotions, because he can't fully control the werewolf.
So he's Furry Hulk.
Yeah, for the most part, but he uses a playlist of music to keep him concentrated on what he needs to do.
I reckon they'll chop and change all that stuff. It's never 100%, is it?
Yeah. And also, if we're going down the route of multiples, obviously you probably want to try to get a Native American one in there that kind of lines up with the Legends. So I would prefer that.
That's more Jake. He's Native American and Hispanic.
Mm-hmm. And that's honestly, I really like that run. I thought it was really well handled. So merging the two really would work, especially Jack Russell is directly connected to the Curse, Dracula, and the Darkhold. Yeah. So if you're going to go down that route, maybe insinuate that, but don't make... Because then you have to explain a lot that we haven't seen yet. It's like, Dracula's Curse. The Darkhold again. There's a lot to kind of tread new grounds over, and it's so I think you kind of got to focus on Jake a little more.
I get the feeling, without them actually officially announcing anything, that this is more of a a quick and dirty introduction for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, hey, here's Werewolf by Night, here's Elsa Bloodstone, because why would you not have her in here?
Oh,
You've heard talk about Man-Thing being in it. I wouldn't be shocked if Dracula's in it, because why would you not do werewolves and vampires?
Mm-hmm. Or at least
It's a nice quick dirty fix.
Set up the war between the two existing, like acknowledge
that
this thing exists. Like,
and like you just have all that stuff going over 5 episodes. It's like, yeah, cool, done.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm excited by this. Again, it's the corner of the Marvel universe I really love, so I can't wait to see this thing, and hopefully it turns out, real good. So we'll talk more about it when we get it confirmed, and inevitably are leaks that are going to come with this. So, we'll talk about it soon. Now, this is actually a good one to piggyback off of what we just talked about. This one comes from the members section where Undead Nerd asks, do you think Moon Knight should have been more darker in tone, like Daredevil and or the old Blade movie? Because he thinks so. Now,
what was dark about the old Blade movie?
So again, the only thing is you get gallons and gallons of blood, and you get to see people, getting like mutilated and all that. That's literally the only thing from what I've seen is through Moon Knight. Especially towards the end, when the third personality comes out and basically wrecks everybody, but you don't get to see it. That's what people were complaining about. They wanted to see the gore and mutilation. Otherwise, it's Disney-fied.
Which isn't really a Moon Knight thing anyway, apart from that one panel where
panel
rips what's his face off, like
Oh.
Moon Knight was good. It doesn't need, like, is Daredevil really that dark on Netflix?
I mean,
no, not really. It's just
like, I say that, yes, there's a bit of like child trafficking going on in season 1. I understand.
It's just it's more along the lines you just get to see the physical damage to characters than anything. Without seeing the physical damage or the blood or even Kingpin like trying to decapitate someone with a car door. You wouldn't think anything of it if it was on Disney Plus, if they had some of that stuff taken out or altered in a way to that it implies it instead of showing it.
Yeah,
I think Moon Knight's fine as it is.
Same.
I don't need.
Yeah, no, but
I don't get obsession with everything needs to be dark and
it's that thing where I don't know where it comes from, but they need to have that unrealistic edge to where everything needs to be shock factor, and I'm like, you don't need to see all that. It's not going to change much because you got some shock factor from Falcon and the Winter Soldier with budget cap, basically decapitating someone in front of everyone, even though you didn't get to see all of it. It was the implication with the blood on the shield that was the shock factor instead of actually seeing the person, cut in two.
Remember when they edited that out?
Which was
there
weird.
Was that like 5-hour period of time where they changed Falcon and Winter Soldier and everyone freaked?
Yeah.
Good times.
And then they found out that it was actually CG blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah, look, we're all kind of in agreement. It's I thought it was fine.
It's what it is. Like, it's, you can do it either with, but it's not going to diminish it anyway.
Also,
what I'd like to know, right, is what is their definition, like the person who asked this question, what's their definition of dark?
Yeah.
Like, what, like, that's a very vague and broad term. It's Daredevil was filmed with no lights on. Yeah, that's very dark.
I was going to say, I will say stylistically and story-wise, Moon Knight, with the mom relationship and what they do with the abuse that Mark goes through, is darker than anything we saw in the Blade films or even Daredevil in terms of what they did with the mental manipulation.
Those Blade movies are cheesy. I'm sorry.
What I
cheese.
What I equate this to is to like darker is the edginess of what probably a young teenager would think discovering Todd McFarlane's Spawn.
Oh no!
saying this is what I want. This is what this is what.
I'm sorry, no one needs that.
Yeah,
No
this
one
is
needs
what
it. And
comics need to
secretly,
be.
you don't even want it either.
Uh-huh.
If that's the case.
That's what I equate to some of these questions of saying would it improve being darker? I'm like, well, like what's your definition of darker? If it's just more shock value, that doesn't make it more mature. That's just trying to add shock value to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fine line, right, between actually being dark and done right, and then just coming off as absolutely edgy for edgy's sake.
Yeah.
Because
Like The Boys. Not that I've watched the new season. But
Yeah, but
The
that
Boys
just
is
keeps
definitely
getting
like, hey,
edgier.
look how edgy we are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like especially the shock value for me from Moon Knight was the implications of the domestic violence towards Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that
I think it's definitely an age thing, though. Like, everyone wants it when they're a teenager. All the R-rated, the blood and the gore and stuff. But I think as you get older, it's that old horror movie mentality where, if you don't show the monster, it's scarier than seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your imagination is always going to be scarier than everything else.
Yeah,
Like,
and then when you finally see
an idea
it,
of what something looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that. So, yeah, I mean, there's the answer to that one. Next topic is Thor: Love and Thunder. Apparently this thing is real good. Audience tests and everything. Apparently they're real good. There's a lot of praise for Gore the God Butcher, the action, Jane Foster, everything. So,
I'm always weird with these like Marvel test screenings because they test internally.
Same. Yep.
And they haven't tested externally for a while.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool, this is no different to WB giving BVS a standing ovation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I forgot what was the last one because usually I usually never go to them because
The last one they test screened.
Yeah, because usually in my area they usually have some test screens for movies, including Marvel movies that you can go to.
Marvel Studios hasn't done a proper wide audience test screening since before Infinity War. Like that might have been their last
I'd say it's probably like Ant-Man or something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because I remember in my area there is a I guess you could say a kind of garage show called Frankenstein, and they have a lot of ins with a lot of the media from LA and stuff, and they usually come out with screening passes that you can go to if you sign up to. And I haven't seen them in a long time, but they usually did do some, but I never really went to them because it was like really out of my way to go to. It was like if I wanted to go to one, it was like 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. I mean, look, do I believe that Thor is probably one of the better MCU films? Yes. I do believe because it's Taika.
Easily.
I mean, if I hear a report like this that has that there's already a trail that I can trace back to, oh yeah, this probably is good as that director's previous films, and they're getting more of what they want, and they seem to have more freedom, and it looks incredible, yes. Now, if somebody was to come out and go, hey, that terrible Thor the Dark World, which is most people's least favorite Thor film, well, guess what? That entire creative team and director are making Thor 5, and it's one of the best MCU films. I'd be like, ooh, no, I don't trust you. No,
it's weird. It's usually the ones that are good are the ones that have an identity to the movie.
Yeah. So,
But which the Dark World created? Patty Jenkins or the actual guy that made it?
Either, because Patty Jenkins has shown that Wonder Woman 84 exists, and that's all we need.
Yeah, I think we dodged a bullet with that one.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I have a feeling.
It's because these are interesting where they share internally, or they test screen internally. Because you had the whole thing with She-Hulk, and people saying it's not great.
Yeah,
right? They're kind of worried about it. It's just like, ooh,
yeah,
oh no.
Well, I mean, the thing with Thor is we have less than 3 weeks till the release of this film, so like, we're gonna get first reactions in about 2 weeks, and then the reviews in like 2.5. So it's almost here with us, so we don't have to speculate too long. I will say, I'm not really worried about it because I loved Thor Ragnarok. Favorite Thor film, definitely.
Yeah, I've got no concern.
Yeah, and Christian Bale as a lead villain role, I mean, it's Christian Bale. He's super talented. So I have no doubts that that's going to be good. I mean, everything about this film just looks like, yeah, it's probably doing a good Taika Thor Marvel film, which that's what the last one was to me. So, I know there's people that didn't like it, but there's also people that don't like Avengers Endgame. So I don't know.
That I find that weird.
Yeah, hey.
I don't know why. I see someone saying it, I'm like, you're weird.
Yeah. Well, there we go in regards to a quick topic on Thor Love and Thunder and Defeat. Next and final Q&A. This one comes from Chris Castro. And he's asking, do you think that they are going to establish multiple teams in different corners of the MCU and then have individual team-up films, like one per year possibly, and then eventually get to that point where all the individual teams team up for a giant convergence of sort in a mega event, right?
Yes.
I'm starting to believe that Avengers 5 will literally be like 6 to 7 years away, and in the meantime, we're going to be like, hey, here's your Midnight Suns, new Guardians, new Avengers, Young Avengers, the Marvels, and then the next Avengers film is going to be like, guess what? We're literally doing everything. Like, they'll bring back the Defenders and everything. Just be like, it's going to be like 8 teams, each one consisting of like 10 people, being like, here's your big film you wanted, like.
I'd feel kind of robbed that you haven't got like a Sam, Jane, and like a She-Hulk and whoever else as an Avengers lineup. I feel kind of robbed of that if you didn't have that, but
yeah.
I mean, they have most for that Avengers lineup. They have most of the characters anyway. They're just missing 2.
Well, I mean, just watch till the end of Quantumania, where Ant-Man's like, guys, I'm not moving to New York, but I'm starting a West Coast side of team, and they'll make it Avengers West Coast.
I'm waiting for West Coast.
It's gonna happen. He'll be joined by like War Machine, because he'll be like, I need to stay over here, and
Also, wait another 6 years for an Avengers movie. That'd be like 9 years.
Yeah.
Between the Avengers movies. Like, do we want to Avatar this? No.
But Mitch, we are halfway to Kang, okay, and Secret Wars, okay. Trust me, bro.
Course, yeah.
Kids screaming on TikTok have told me such.
Halfway when we haven't even met him. Like, realistically met him yet.
We've met him.
We met a version of him.
Oh,
unless they count that sculpture of him as meeting King.
There must be.
Yeah, it's
I will never trust that halfway thing. It's like there's no chance. We're still in Act 1 of all this stuff.
We're just barely getting off the ground with even knowing who the Avengers might be. Like, we still don't really have a lineup to expect, so we don't even know who the Midnight Suns are really going to consist of. We don't know what's up with the Defenders up until Daredevil's back. Like, it's going to take a little bit of time to get to that giant team up, which people are definitely going to end up waiting, but we are at this point where it's like, can you guys just tell us what's happening with the Avengers? Like, because make no mistake, if Spider-Man made as much as it did, another Avengers film is going to be close to that box office take. So,
it'll be more than Endgame, I reckon, another Avengers.
Oh, when they make it a giant deal? Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it be? So, yeah. Look, we'll find out soon. When they announce stuff. They're going to start announcing new projects this September, literally at Disney Plus Day. So then we're going to have a clearer picture of what they're kind of converging onto, and then that'll be our, I guess, tell for the plans.
If they don't announce like 3 different Avengers movies this year, I'm going to be surprised. It's like Young Avengers, New Avengers, West Coast. Shut up.
It's going to be Untitled Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Again?
No.
Avengers, the Serpent Society. But this time he's not going to fix this, so I'll finally get my dream movie. Captain America fighting a bunch of...
You watch that actually be Captain America.
I will take Captain America for the Serpent Society. Oh my god. It's perfect. Just think of it, like Captain America fighting...
it kind of works with Sam, right?
Exactly. Like, it naturally works, and you could do obviously, you'd have to put a bend on there where it's like, oh, right, the serpents are using the Serpent Society is sort of, they slithered into the government and they're racist. And it's like, yeah, this fits the bill. This works. This actually does work. So
that sounded very like CW there.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
I mean, like in like Sam's first original run as Captain, that's what one of the storylines was.
So just do it. Just do it.
Are you talking the 90s run, or are you talking the 2000s?
The
2010s run?
The 2010s run, where I think like in the first 2 or 3 issues, he's fighting racists on the border.
Yeah. Topical, eh? So
Isn't it one of the Serpent Society guys that blows up that tunnel in his run? Like they're fighting in a tunnel or something on the highway.
Yeah, I think so. I can't quite remember because it's been a while since
I've just got this image of Sam in this tunnel with a bunch of cars.
Well, it's from what I can remember, it's like there's tunnels and then there's like illegals trying to go to and fro, and it's Sam fighting this white.
Like that,
Sam's fighting this white dude saying, "What are you trying to do?" And he goes on some spiel, so they're ruining our country and taking our jobs.
I say I'm either confusing one of the Serpent Society guys for Nuke or like or John Walker. It's one of those three, I think. So I want to say they're all in it.
Are you saying all
John Walker's
white...
definitely in that?
I was gonna say, are you saying all white racists look the same? Is that what you're saying, Mitch? Are you singling
let
them
me
out?
take my sunglasses off let me take my Oakleys off with my little baseball cap. Yes.
Hold on, let me get out of my truck too for this photo.
I've got to park my Ford. My
sweet Oakleys.
God.
The rip-off Oakleys, the cheap ones.
I don't get it. The Red Skull was just pushing make Hydra great again. What's wrong with that? Come on.
I was just following orders.
I mean, boy, how about that DC, huh? Boy, it's been a
Reverse Flash went from terrorizing people to kidnapping people.
It's the Flash is on the run from court orders and the law trying to serve them papers. Amber Heard is fighting for a role that many have said is getting recast. The CW's falling apart. Joker 2 has added a Lady Gaga.
It went more insane and went to a musical route.
It's going into a musical, and now even the people who were somewhat excited for Joker 2 have turned on this, being like, this is the dumbest idea. Like, the negative backlash to Joker 2 is really surprising me. It's everywhere, and I'm like, huh.
I mean, it potentially can't be bad. It's just, I guess, jarring that that's going to the musical route for some reason.
Yeah, some reason.
He's just ripping off La La Land for Ha Ha Land.
Yeah? I mean, like I said, he's going to rip off New York, New York. That's the Scorsese musical. It's New York. It's going to be Gotham, Gotham. Like, he ain't very creative on that one, but it's... what's going on at Okay, it's not even WB only now. It's WB Discovery, and clearly there's a lot of things happening that are just like, get your everything in order, please, because this is kind of embarrassing, because there hasn't been a singular good update to come out of anything DC besides James Gunn posting random photos being like, hey, I might work on this. It's like, ooh, yeah.
Wait, they did have something that was good, and it was in the animation side. It was the Jon Stewart Green Lantern animated movie, but that was about it.
They're also doing the musical Looney Tunes thing. So
was it Bye Bye Bunny or something like that? Like half of the stuff
Bye Bye Bugs.
It's like half the stuff that's been announced for a theatrical release are being musicals for some reason.
I feel like you guys are making stuff up now.
No,
that's 100% true.
You sure about this?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. I will believe it without checking into this because my mind might blow up because you might be right. So I'll just believe it. But yeah.
So that Green Lantern thing, I will laugh if that's the case of like, all right,
laugh too. You leave him.
Oh damn, little tiny exhaust. Yeah, if that Green Lantern thing was literally just a case of, cool, the series is too expensive, so let's make it animated instead.
Yeah.
No, that would like piss off fans because they wanted Jon Stewart for the longest time, and let's make it animated.
They're gonna be mad regardless of what happens. Like.
I was gonna say you're gonna get
Since
green.
when did
You're gonna
WB
get Hal Jordan.
care
You're gonna
about
like
making
it. I'm
fans
like,
happy?
no.
Exactly. When has WB been like, we need to make our fans real happy of our product? Announce Joker 2. Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, that's...
Making a musical.
I'm just like now currently I'm like kind of worried about the milestone projects that they're trying to do because like people wanting like the Static Shock thing to come off for the longest time. And it's like they axe it as just that's salt in a deep.
They'll make it stage play.
Oh.
Static Shock on Broadway, done.
Oh.
It's gonna be like that Spider-Man. What was it?
That'd be
Turn
so
of the
sick.
Century or whatever. What was it called?
Was it Turn Off the Dark? Or
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I think that's what it was. Turn Off the Dark.
Now, on top of all of this, the main thing is every single media outlet and even major mainstream news now has picked up on the Ezra Miller situation, and even them trying to reach out to WB, they're getting no comments from anybody involved, Ezra's camp or anybody. This whole thing is becoming a worse PR disaster by the day. It is, and they won't say anything. It's like, guys,
Well, it's the fact that they've said, like, the authorities have said, oh, Ezra Miller is at large.
yeah.
Like, you don't just, like, at large, it's like, this guy's dangerous. Like, watch it.
It's funny because it's like WB's was it Donkey from Shrek, that one screen grab where there's this donkey's just having the worst day of his life at every news update of Ezra Miller. I was like, what you doing? But yeah, it's weird because from what the info that's been coming out, it's like I'm not entirely sure, but like Ezra was at one point like mocking people trying to reach out to them to see if they can coax him to come in with memes on his Instagram, and after like that like backfired, he deleted his Instagram, and then now like they can't really get a hold of him anymore.
The whole situation is honestly really kind of disgusting. Like somebody needs to do something, and like, you know, my big worry is the next update you get is going to be something horrific, because clearly something is going on in their head and they need help. And people that need help sometimes do not exhibit any signs of needing help, and then it's too late. And again, as somebody who's watched professional wrestling for like 30 years, it's so prominent in that sport to be like, oh, that person went crazy, or that person is now, manslaughter or something horrific has happened. It's just like common.
It's prominent in a lot of like a lot of sports entertainment, including from wrestling to even when it came out about like 2 years ago with like basketball, where a lot of athletes have bouts of depression, and they can't. Like they feel that if it comes out that they have bouts of depression or symptoms of that they will be judged and be mocked for trying to get help, and that's not what you should be doing. Especially since is June or a week in June was supposed to be like Mental Health Day, where it was advised that if you had trouble to seek someone to get some help. And
you bring that up and like,
but the biggest irony is, like, Ezra played Kevin in We Gotta Talk About Kevin, whatever that movie was called. The kid about a school shooter, where his mum didn't know anything, and then she gets, like, ridiculed for it. So it's like, Ezra, like, literally, you're in this movie. Can you take a note out of the lesson of this movie, please?
And, it's not just, like, this type of, like, abuse and things like that. Like, if you look at the whole Amber Heard situation, and she rightfully lost, but now all the media is piled on her and everything, and nobody's just sat down and went, you know what? Her upbringing and the way she is clearly that she was abused and something's wrong with her. So offer her some help as well, because she's clearly not healthy. Instead of like everybody just continue to pile on.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a circus at that point because
yeah,
people were like are asking, it's like why is she like having an interview with Today? I'm like because she sold interview rights to them. That's
yeah,
basically it, so she can get some money for it.
yep,
But with Amber,
Yeah,
it's
but that
weird.
whole thing of like
Yeah,
the lawyer.
yeah,
It's like, oh, the lawyer who said that his client
yeah,
who convinced the world he has scissors for fingers. It's like, what are you talking about,
yeah.
Amber? Like,
yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
it was weird. It's like because I've seen it where people were I guess fans who didn't want to believe everything that came out from the trial. They were saying they know that Amber was completely innocent and that she she deserves a retrial because everyone just dogpiled on her without actually seeing the truth and that people were just believing Johnny. And I'm like, no, people acknowledge that both of them are not good people, but
uh-huh.
for Amber to come out on top thinking that she's completely innocent of everything that she's done is disingenuous to Johnny, who is in this intents and purposes a domestic abuse
Yeah,
victim.
exactly. Like,
Yeah, but he's not exactly a
Yeah,
a
so
saint.
oh,
So,
definitely not.
yeah,
he,
so
he,
people were
he lost
saying,
he lost a case in England for a reason.
no, I know, but that was the thing is that he's always believe him. Like, no, I'm like he's not like innocent, but in this case, he is a victim of domestic abuse.
hmm
Yeah, he's just the lesser of these two particular evils.
Yep. And it's like, yeah, so it's like there's so many PR disasters that you're seeing in Hollywood, and again, WB's caught really at the center of all of this, and I just hope that something happens with every party involved, that maybe things can, be made right. But again, we talked about this in a members video that we did. It's one of these things where they just don't care. The studios do not care. They care about the dollar.
Yeah.
They don't care about the people.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. Unfortunately, is that they only care about how much money you losing me because of this.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. That is unfortunately it. So that's kind
Let's
of
be honest. Are they even going to make money from the Flash?
Depends. It
oh.
depends at this point.
Oh, it ain't
Because-
looking
how
good.
how are you gonna how are you actually gonna market that movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, put Keaton plastered all over everything,
Yep.
and it's less images of the Flash, the better.
Like, legitimately, just retitle the movie. The movie's still a year out, literally a year out from next week. Just retitle it Batman Flashpoint and pivot everything onto Batman marketing. That's what you need to do. Just,
But then you'd probably Ezra's probably got grounds to sue then, unless there's something in the
I
contract.
assume with
to be
everything
like,
that they
hey,
have
yeah.
done, you could probably make an argument in a court being like, you're a PR disaster and you're not going to make any money if we put you on it. Like, there's got to be a legal way, right?
Possibly.
There's got to be. I mean, look, these studios always end up winning in the end because they structured a contract in the end. So
It's true.
yeah,
It's true. Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here like wondering what DC is gonna do with that prequel comic that they're still holding on to.
Oh!
Ugh, 'cause-
You mean
I
the-
mean, no one reads those things anyway, so it's fine.
See the prequel comic that's stuck in Jeff Johns' purgatory, aka never
Yeah.
coming out. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause they're still wondering when they're going to release it, and at this point, you might as well not release it. I mean, everyone got paid, but yeah, it's just gonna be one of those lost media things about a prequel comic that never came to be because of actors' shenanigans.
yeah.
That would also never be canon anyway because the comics never.
It's kind of true. Yeah,
Worries about canon at all. So.
yeah. They do tend to wipe out
Never
the
know.
comic and pretend like it just never happened, which, that's probably kind of smart, I would say. It's-
Yeah. I remember how Supergirl was in one of the prequel comics. That went well.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, nobody tries to remember that. Yeah, because they were like, oh, she's in the pod, and we're going to explore that, and then... Yeah.
Nothing.
What a weird situation all of this is. What a weird...
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, what a weird corner to be backed up into as WB, right? Like, none of this favors for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
Very, very weird. Yeah. I guess that is gonna officially bring us to the conclusion of this show. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the topics we discussed and everything. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend and a good summer. Unless you're in the upside down like Benny, then you're having a good fall, winter, probably dark 24/7 in Australia. I don't know what it's like over there, so I don't know. Enjoy your new Sega Genesis console, whatever Australians have.
Sega Genesis.
What's Australia like? I hear it through giant bugs, crazy creatures. 99% of the land is uninhabitable. There's like 5 big cities, and the population of all of them is on par with New York. Like that place, it truly sounds like Mad Max. I don't know.
It pretty much is, yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to imagine
They have their own weird version of like the hokey cokey in Australia. That's not even a joke. Like, that's actually legit. Like,
I like to imagine Benny is fighting his way through like, you know, a bunch of people riding motorcycles with bats just trying to get to a stream because they have like, you know, streams are held in public courts and they're like, if you want to watch something, you got to get here and pay your dues, fight people. It's probably what it's like. I'm not sure.
Benny, I need to know, have you ever done the nut bush before?
Actually, come to think on second thought, I might have just been describing what it's like to live in Eastern Europe. So,
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't know. Being from Eastern Europe, I've seen some things. It's like, man, it's this boy. How is this even a thing?
Hey, he's done nut bush. That's what I need to know, Benny.
Yeah, that has brought us to the end of the show. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. We will catch you next week, and thank you for joining us.